Mark asks, favorite HO manufacturer and favorite steam locomotives? My favorite HO manufacturer is probably Walthers, and a couple of my favorite steam locomotives are Pure Marquette 1225, PRR 1361, Grand Trunk Western 6325, and Canadian National 3254. Wicked Fizz 999 asks, what do you like more, Real Trains or Thomas? Real Trains. When did you start YouTube? July 22nd, 2013. The way I got into trains was mainly through like Thomas the Tank Engine, Lionel Trains, like DVDs about trains and stuff like that. And my first like train toy, so to speak, was a wooden railway James, I believe. Cheesy Potatoes asks, what are your thoughts on the T1 project and how they claim they will beat Mallard's record? Well, a brand new American steam locomotive sure is definitely something I'm looking forward to. But I mean, they could have like picked another engine in my opinion, just because I'm not the biggest fan of the T1. Like they could have picked a different one. And to the claim they'll beat Mallard's record, I guess I'll just have to see it whenever it starts running. Kentucky Railfan 486 asks, what are your plans for the next Marysville Railroad Stories episode? Well, all that kind of information was revealed on the Google Plus fan group, which you can find in the description. If you could go anywhere in the world to Railfan, where would you go and why? Probably just Chicago, because I'm a pretty big fan of like going there, visiting, seeing everything, and plus that's where a lot of the Class 1 railroads meet. What is your opinion on those new Symons Chargers? They seem pretty alright. I mean, I'll have to get used to them since my local Amtrak service is going to be getting them, but they look pretty neat. Mooter asks,
legit question.
How far would you say your love for trains has gotten you? Well, it's gotten me to over 14,000 subscribers, if that counts. KG Dog asks,
Legit.
are you a train? Slenderman7676 RBLX asks, if you were going to buy an Amtrak electric locomotive for your private electrified railroad, would you get an AEM-7, HHP-8, or an E60 AEM-7? The Ghostly Red Engine asks, what are your thoughts on the Big World Big Adventures so far? What are your thoughts on the bouncing of the trucks in Big World Big Adventures? What's your favorite Thomas movie besides Soda or Legends of the Lost Treasure? Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Floridian Films asks, where's the rum ham?
Here's the gun. What? Here's the doctor's note. Just fucking do it. It's time. You gonna put this on? No, you gotta fucking kill me, the doctor. I'll say roll.
What's your favorite Panhandle Rail Stories character? Probably Kai. C40-9s or C40-9s? I'd probably have to say a J3A Hudson. Aiden Desai asks, what are some steam locomotives that you would like to see? In terms of operable steam locomotives right now, I'd probably have to say Union Pacific 844, Milwaukee Road 261, and Nickel Plate Road 765. Foxy Fan 55 asks, how long does it take to make a video? Well, it all depends really on the type of video. Sometimes it can take weeks, sometimes it can take even a month upwards of that. And for some videos it may only take like a day for something maybe like just a simple Railfanning video or model train video. But for like Thomas videos and remakes, adaptions, whatever, they can take a couple of days, maybe sometimes even just a single day if I'm really focused on it, but it can really depend on the type of video. Thoughts on Big World Big Adventures?
If you're feeling suicidal, you've come to the right place. Because I want to fucking kill myself as well.
Thoughts on Edward and Henry leaving the steam team? Sam Loves Trains asks, what is your favorite CN locomotive? CNR 3254. What made you like trains? Mainly like Lionel Trains, Thomas and Friends. Will you be uploading more Railfanning videos in the future? Hopefully yes, time permitting. John McCardle asks, PM, NKP, and CNO Burke, what's your favorite? Pure Marquette. MPT 765 asks, what's your favorite steam engine? Pure Marquette 1225. What is your favorite whistle? Probably a Grand Trunk Western 6 chime. When do you plan to release the next Marysville Railroad episode? Well, all that information is going to be found at the fan group. Edwards Branchline Productions 2017 asks, will the Flying Scotsman have his own story arc? I have a story idea in mind for the Flying Scotsman, but I have to get through the Stepney trilogy in the series first. Nathan Storm asks, which is your favorite Norfolk Southern Heritage unit? Norfolk Southern 1066. Rex the Railfanner asks, what software do you use to create your videos? Well, to answer that, here's a list of the programs I use to typically make my videos. Will you make a mainline before and after 3 in Trains a New Era? I haven't really considered continuing on the series, but it's a possibility. What's your favorite short line? The Huron and Eastern. Thomas Branchline Productions asks, what is your favorite Amtrak coach? The Horizon cars. What is your opinion on Big Mickey gaining a face? Have you ever heard of Super Mario Logan? Yes, I have. Magical Pilot asks, running low on ideas again? What's your favorite paint scheme for Amtrak? Phase 3. The Time is Meow asks, do I have a planned release date for Wendell in America? Well, the video's been put on hold as I attend to other video ideas, and I haven't really had the time to get Wendell in America rolling in production, so unfortunately I don't have a planned release date for it. Do you ever think you will get on the Real Polar Express for one of your videos? I think it would be neat to ride behind a Pure Marquette excursion. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a cat. Southern 3118 asks, what is your favorite 282 Mikado? Probably Grand Trunk Western 4070. CNSD75I asks, after you graduate from high school, do you plan on going off to college or pursuing some other goal? I do plan on attending college, and then after that I plan to pursue a career in Amtrak. Union Pacific 1982 Productions asks, what steam locomotive and or locomotives would you like to see return to service in the future? Well, I'd say Canadian National 3254, Grand Trunk Western 6325, Pennsylvania Railroad 1361, Nickel Plate Row 587, and Union Pacific 3985. What would your reaction be if Union Pacific decided to restore a gas turbine? Well, I mean, it'd be pretty cool. I'm not the biggest fan of the gas turbine, but I think it'd be kind of neat. John Sackenfast asks, so what's your favorite Amtrak line? I'd have to say the Blue Water line from Port Huron, Michigan to Chicago, Illinois. What's your favorite Amtrak engine? I'd have to say the 40PH. The Great Brit Productions asks, if you could pick a weapon from World War I or World War II for a zombie apocalypse, which would you pick? Probably a Thompson machine gun or something. What's your next goal now that you've hit 10,000? Well, I mean, just keep on doing YouTube for as long as it maintains fun to me. British Railways or Big Four? British Railways. Colby Fell Productions asks, have you ever heard of the White Pass and Yukon route? Yes, I have. Which is better, Canadian National or Canadian Pacific? Canadian National. What is your favorite British locomotive design? Fowler 3F Ginty. Hunter Dosso asks, will there be any other Engines of series after Engines of Amtrak? That's something I've been kind of debating as I've been creating Engines of Amtrak, but at the moment I'm not exactly planning another Engines of series, but I'm not exactly sure yet, so I'll make a decision once Engines of Amtrak finally ends. William Aglabe asks, what is the rarest train horn you have ever heard? Probably an M3H. Thunderbolt 1000 Siren Productions asks, what is your favorite electric engine? The AEM-7. Are you interested in a job on the railroad in the future or a job in video making? For as long as I can remember, I've always had an interest in a job in the railroad, particularly as an Amtrak engineer. What inspired you to make your channel on YouTube? I was inspired by several Thomas the Tank Engine YouTubers, as well as several other Railfanning channels to make my own, and that's where I am today. I mainly started mine just to share what trains I saw in my area. Burnett Stone asks, what Grand Trunk Western loco do you want to see be rebuilt? Grand Trunk Western 5629. Will the ICE and X2000 be in Engines of Amtrak? Yeah, I plan to definitely do episodes on them. LMS or LNER? LMS. Alberta Railfan asks, why do you like Amtrak? My interest in Amtrak mainly started when I rode the Texas Eagle back and forth between Chicago and San Antonio several times, and then later going on to ride the Amtrak's Blue Water from Port Huron, Michigan to Chicago, Illinois several times, but it mainly started with the Texas Eagle, and I've just always had a fondness for Amtrak, and that's why I wish to pursue a career in Amtrak. I also do like the locomotive designs they have, the K5LAs, P5 horns, things like that. What would you do if you were a rail fan in the Northeast US during the 70s when the Northeast was a magical place of bankrupt railroads? I'd probably just go out and take videos, take pictures, and just kind of document railroad operations out there. What do you think of railroading in Canada? Well, other than the majority of the main lines seemingly overgrown, I definitely do like Canadian railroads, especially the steam locomotives. Pacific Productions asks, is the route from the Marysville Railroad series a public downloadable route for trains? The sets seen in the Marysville Railroad stories are all made by me, and I don't really think I'll plan to have them released in the future. Have you ever thought of making custom trains models in Blender? I think it would be something neat to learn, to just be able to make your own like locomotives and stuff like that, but as of lately, probably not. Are you Nick Crompton? Billy Wins asks, favorite season of Thomas the Tank Engine? Season 3. Favorite Amtrak engine? The F40PH. Do you like the SC-44 Charger? I think it looks pretty cool. Officer Jose Amador asks, do you think wasps are cunts with wings? Trainman3985 asks, what inspired your username AmtrakGuy365? Well, my favorite railroad is Amtrak, and I'm a guy, and then the common misconception with the 365 is 365 days a year, but it's actually the number of my favorite Amtrak service, train number 365 from Port Huron, Michigan to Chicago, Illinois, otherwise known as the Blue Water. Of all the videos you've made, which one is your favorite and which is your least favorite? Well, for my favorites, kind of a hard decision, but I'd probably have to say maybe the Marysville Railroad Stories Christmas Special, the Illinois Railway Museum Vintage Transport Extravaganza video, and or probably my Ghost Train adaptation. What model train, be it a locomotive or rolling stock, would you like to own for your layout? Well, I've always wanted to own a brass Grand Trunk Western U3B or a J3A, but they're rather hard to come by and rather expensive, so it's probably a low chance that I'll ever get my hands on one, but it's something I've always wanted to have. Mooter asks,
Why are you so popular? You only upload train videos.